Hey chicos y chicas, I am Ricardo Laguna and thank you so much for sharing your valuable time watching this video, as today we are going to learn how to become a professional iPhonagrepher with under $800. Once again, guys, thank you so much for sharing your valuable time watching this YouTube video, and it will mean the world if you guys like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because this will help the algorithm to go out there so you can share it to everybody to see how to become a professional iPhonagrepher with under $800 investment. But since I'm not an expert when it comes down to this camera equipment, lighting, miking, XYZ, I had to bring a good friend of mine, Carlos. Thank you so much.
Ricas, thanks for having me. My name is Carlos. I'm a videographer and I mostly work with professional cameras, not so much the iPhone. So I'm curious to find out what you got in store for us.
So that means I will never take your job because an iPhone will never compete with your cameras.
Safe.
But keep in mind, this is a YouTuber's live. Blogging doesn't really require this high-end cameras like the ones that you have. So this little handy dandy guy will do the job because it does film in 4K, and I believe, what type of frame per second?
60 frames per second on at least the iPhone X. For most iPhones, it's going to go up to 60 frames on a 4K.
So the quality of your iPhone is going to be phenomenal as long as you have good lighting, mic, and then batteries, which we're about to jump into that. So with that said, I cannot add that $800 fee on this iPhone because most of you guys already own one and you have it in your pocket. So if you want to become a YouTuber, blogger, XYZ, you're already on the road to success. All right, guys, the next piece of equipment is called the M-Rig, and I love this because Carlos is a busy man. He can come and help me every day to film my YouTube videos. So this becomes my best friend. And the reason why I love it, it comes with an adapter for your iPhone. It doesn't matter if it's an iPhone Plus, Mini, I don't even know how many brands there's out there, but it's basically threaded to fit the proper dimension. And best of all, I think you might need to invest into this rig because these screws are technically the universal size.
Yeah, they should be 1/4 inch.
So it will fit any type of camera equipment. For me, since I need mic and lights, it does give me 3 options for shoe rigs to slide in here, whether if I want to put mics, lights, or any other type of, what else could I have in here besides mics and lights?
I know that on the stabilizers for the cameras, you can have ways where you can hold this differently, so like extensions. So you can extend other parts so you can hold this better ways.
And then a cool thing after this, because there's a lot of Snapchatters, I don't know if that's the proper word, if you need to go vertical, you do have
You're
that.
obviously not a millennial, right?
You know how much us millennials love board games.
Snapchatters.
Bear with me.
Anyway.
I'm almost 40. Wait, that makes me a millennium.
Wait, hold on. Am I the only actual millennial here?
Barely.
Anyways, since for those of you guys that want to become or are Snapchatters, it gives you the option to have the thread so then you're vertical or you can have it horizontal.
Yeah, so that's pretty handy. However, I did have a question. Why is this called an M-mount?
M-mount. I don't know. Maybe we need some of you guys that are more experts than the experts to comment below and we will figure it out. So that's it. Now that we have the rig sorted out, let's move to the next piece of equipment. Our next piece of equipment will make the M-Rig useless if you don't have a tripod. So I have this little Gorila or
Gorilla Pod or a Gorilla Tripod.
So this is the little fella. I love this one because there's times where if I can possibly hang it from something, I can wrap it around and it'll stay still.
So as the name is said, Gorilla Pod, just like a gorilla, it just hangs off of anything and it's able to grab onto anything. So this is super cool because you can just grab a tree branch, and if you're trying to get a nice perspective shot, you can just hang it on the tree. Or if you don't have someone that can record you and you're on the street, well, you just wrap this around a pole perhaps. So you have so many ways to use this.
Creativity could be key here.
Creativity is big.
And one of my favorite things, I always want to get the shot, make sure it's level. This actually comes with a bubble leveler that you basically, oh, there it is.
Make sure you're straight.
There you go. So this is a little guy because there's times I don't have enough room. This comes super in handy. But I do have the mother load of tripods, which we're gonna jump into that piece of equipment right after this. Well, we just got done talking about this Gorila Mini tripod. Let's talk about the big boy, Carlos.
All right.
This guy has plenty of bells and whistles. You have 3 options to go as high as possible, which I believe is almost 6 feet. And if you need additional height, you can actually use, you can pull it out and then you can use it as a
monopod. So there may be instances where you want to take off the iPhone or the camera, because that's what this tripod is for. You can just use it as a monopod and take it with you.
Or you can have an additional 2 feet of height. So that's pretty cool. You have a 360-degree spin-off.
Nice.
I love how it's so simple. You literally loosen it and tighten it to keep your space. If you need to angle it down, all you have to do, turn it and twist. And my favorite thing is that I believe this is the universal size for any professional cameras or iPhonagraphy.
It will be a 1/4-inch screw, so that should be able to work with a lot of camera mounts and iPhones.
And this came with this adapter that will fit, once again, any iPhone, any size, or any Android, because it's basically a threaded screw that can go tighter or skinnier or fatter. I guess the proper way to say it. And how can you forget, if you need to be level, you do have your bubble. So make sure where you're leveling yourself.
That's extremely important because you can't fix it in post, but not always. So you want to make sure you use this indicator here to get it right the first time.
So I live in the desert as well as you, and it's windy a lot of the time when you're filming outside. So there's a cool little gadget. You have a little hook, and actually the bag, you can put either weights or you can just literally hang whatever you want off of this. So then your tripod is not gonna basically fall when the wind catches it.
I like it.
So pretty simple. I think this is the mothership of tripods, if you were to ask me for a professional iPhonagrapher, which is under $50.
For an iPhone, yes. Mother of tripods. For a professional camera, I would never trust this.
Professional, amateur, up and comer.
Go with the Vanguard or the Manfrotto if you want your camera to be mounted on something sturdier.
Baller on a budget. Alright guys, the next piece of equipment I think is a crucial one, because if you're using an iPhone, if it's going to be too dark, it's going to be way too gritty.
Noisy or grainy.
There you go, and there will be no way for you, I don't care how good of an editor you are or how good of a software you're using, you won't be able to fix that.
There's certain programs where you can edit post to fix that noise, but avoid that at all costs. You want to make sure you get it right the first time.
So that's it. Make sure you get good lighting. I have 4 of these little fellas, and the reason why I have 4 is because each phone gets 2 lights, additional lights, which they're super cheap. And then if you are out and about, you do have the option to have a battery, but if you have somewhere where you can be plugged in and have a station power outlet, you can actually use a USB to plug it in to keep your power going non-stop. Now, the only part I have yet to really learn about this is the clear gel and the yellow. So I'm gonna let the experts to talk about this.
Honestly, this here, when you put on this filter or this gel, what you're really doing is messing with the white balance. You always want to make sure that the white balance on the image is correct. So this is casting a white or blue hue of light. This one will cast a more of an orange light. And sometimes you can tell if you're like above, if you're at home, you'll see that the lights are a little bit at the orange hue. And street lights sometimes have a white light. So make sure you get the white color balance correct. This is probably going to be the best color to use.
And best of all, you can actually dim it, brighten it up, so it has different settings for whatever scenario you're in. But now that we got done talking about the little fellas, now we have to bring the medium-sized light. This one I really like because it comes with additional gels. And this one actually is way bigger, Carlos. So once again, can you please tell us why would they use so many different colors and gels?
So in this case, these are pretty colorful. So obviously you are getting more into the creative space here. So this is really cool because if you have a white background, if this background was all white, what you can do is cast a green light. So you can put this above or below and it'll cast whatever color that you have. So you have blue, you have red, you have green, and then white, just the normal one. Another reason why this is helpful is this is a diffuser. So what it's doing is that it's not casting harsh light. This would be a harsh light direct to the face. It's not beautiful, it's not pleasant. Just think about the sun hitting your face.
Got it.
That's a harsh light. To make it more pleasant on the skin, you diffuse it with this one. So this is really helpful.
Well, before I started my YouTube channel, I had a little conversation with you how to make my videos be a little bit more appealing. You didn't teach me about this little secret.
Yeah.
So I think from now on, whenever you guys see that cool backdrop, wild colors, which it might be one of those 3 colors, is because Carlos just taught me while we're filming and we're on the fly. So thank you, Carlos.
No problem, man, I got you.
So, cool thing about this light, it actually comes with a charger and a battery. I have bought in additional batteries and they're bigger so you get a longer lifespan while you're filming. But in case if you have a location, it does give you the option to be plugged in. So it makes your life a lot, not much of a nerve-wracking moment that your battery's gonna go dead.
It would be terrible if your light went out in the middle of a scene.
Indeed. And a cool thing in this one, you actually get the notification where is your battery life. Right now at 93. And then this is actually another thing that I might need you to talk about this, Carlos. I know there is a 4,000 to 6,000. There's a reason why.
For sure. And so light temperature is measured in kelvins. So if you see, maybe we turn it around, the cast of light is changing. I mentioned it earlier, the blue light is more on this side of the Kelvin scale, which is at 56,000. And you switch it to the other end, it is more orange light. It's all depending on what you're trying to do, but we want it to be more on the white blue hue. You can later fix it or correct it on post-production.
Got it. So now that we got the whole lighting and rig, I kind of want to show you how simple it is. All you have to do is slide in the shoe, tying it up, and you're basically ready to boogie. And then if you need more lighting, as I said, you have options for 3 more, or there's additional add-ons for other shoes if you need to add mics or XYZ. So that's another reason why I love this M rig.
Yeah.
The ideas on how you can make this work towards your needs is endless.
Yeah, because this has the capability of adding extensions. As you can see on the side, there are more screws where you can add extensions. So if you wanted to hold it a certain way, or if you're holding it this way, or add more lights, so more different grips.
How good is that? Like, look how quick and simple that is.
Exactly.
You basically get that. You have the option to put it on the other side, and you have, which I put this the wrong way, which is, we'll just flip it really quick.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have a super awesome lighting system to make a pitch black studio become a sunny day.
Exactly. I love the setup. This could be helpful for your blogging setup, to be honest with you. Or if you have a second shooter, they can hold the light wherever you need it.
Awesome. Well, let's move on to the next piece of equipment that we need to become a professional iPhonagrapher. All right, Carlos, this could be the most expensive piece of the whole equipment for the iPhonography.
No, we don't want expensive here.
This is actually really cool. This is a package that you can purchase as 3. The way I bought it for $280, but you can buy them as single as well. I highly recommend for you guys to get the package because it includes extra batteries, tripods, and a cool case when you throw it around, because I have already dropped it a couple of times.
No!
And it works perfectly fine.
Yes.
A cool thing for this, I feel like I'm in a movie. I'm basically, this is going to be the way you want to aim your lights, correct?
Correct. These are panels, and you'll see them in all four sides of the square, and it's really to aim the light source to where you need it to go.
Got it.
Simple.
A cool thing on this guy is that you have the option to have 2 batteries. In case, once again, I sound like a broken record. If you don't have power option, whatever you're filming, you can have these 2 batteries. Or if you have power, then it gives you a nice little transformer with a nice long cable, because you won't need to go, I think you call this going to your dad's lawn shed garage.
Yeah, this looks like something my dad would have in his garage.
This becomes really handy, guys, though. There's times that the outlet is a little too far for the cable, so make sure you get an extension cord. But with that said, because this is the boring stuff.
I have a question for you. What do you think about Tesla making some batteries for these bad boys?
I mean, I think if they were to do that, it could last you for a week or 2.
These last for how long?
So far, every shoot that I've done has been over 2 hours, and those 2 batteries has lasted me. So over 2 hours.
You can never have enough batteries, to be honest with you. You do not want to be cut off with no light.
Exactly. And it's super easy to set up. You basically screw that down, set your tripod, and then it gives you the option to go up, down. You have the panels.
Yes.
And then same option, you can make things brighter, darker, and as well as the yellow and lighter, which that is.
Yeah, the color, the white balance.
So make sure you guys purchase some good lighting, as I give a few thumbs up to this lights, and they're not even sponsoring this video.
That's unfortunate. When is that gonna happen?
I mean, I don't know, maybe the next YouTube video. Thanks to you guys, because you're liking and sharing.
It's up to you guys to get us sponsored.
All right, you guys have to hear the sound. Well, we are in Carlos's office, and it sounds very echoey. He was kind enough, because I had to show this, to let me borrow his mic, which sounds a lot better. But once again, it's a professional iPhonagrepher on a budget, and this monkey mic does the job, because it comes with a nice little furry cover that is used.
It's called a dead cat? Yeah.
Dead cat. So why would you use a dead cat versus a foam one?
To be honest, for the most part, this is going to be so you can filter out any wind or people blowing on the mic if that happens. This is more of a sponge. This is not so big. And this is also for reducing some kind of white noise in the background.
Got it. So basically outdoors, indoors.
Yeah.
Simple math. And a cool thing, I had to buy this additional noodle because I have an iPhone, and it comes with an auxiliary. So if you have an iPhone or if you have an Android, and it's super easy to connect. Basically all you have to do is plug it into your phone, and you're ready to boogie.
And I just want to reinforce that you will not regret buying this. I personally think this is one of the best investments to invest in audio. This is going to make the world of a difference. Ricardo already showed you in the beginning the before and after. So the first time you could hear so much echo without one of these. Well, a lot of echo with this, but if you invest in one of these, you reduce the echo. However, this is still a great investment if you're outdoors.
Baller status. This is in the makings.
That's right.
And a cool thing is, I was saying, you basically make it your own custom setup. So this M rig is looking sharper and sharper by the second as we're piecing it all together.
Yeah, this looks like a great setup. To be honest with you, as a vlogger, this is the perfect setup.
I love it. No wonder why I'm becoming an official YouTuber.
YouTuber, welcome, man.
Well, guys, sometimes you have to film where there is no power, and as I've been nagging at you guys, you need to figure out a way how to make that happen. That is additional batteries. Each unit of everything we have talked about, you have the options of purchasing additional batteries. I highly recommend it. I actually went with a bigger lithium battery. So Elon Musk, you need to step up your game, because this thing is heavy and bulky, but it's a lifesaver. So as that said, I bought a couple extra ones. But there is times when you get lucky that you have plenty of outlets, but everything is too far apart. Well, this little fella right here gives you the option of 7 USBs So you basically plug it into your power and you can feed 7 different outlets. Now having multiple lights and multiple options that you need to have power, this has been a lifesaver, because if not, you have to purchase those big bulky power strips.
You don't think they'll cause a short circuit on one of these?
I think all of this LED lights, it takes very minimum power. So I highly recommend it. I bought 2 of this Life Love, I think I'm gonna call them. The Love Power. I like that gives me 14 outlets, so now I have no excuse why everything can be charging, and you don't have to worry about having a dead battery on your iPhone, because that goes USB, all of the lights, and anything else you might need.
Question, have you ever connected 7 outlets in here?
I have 7 and I believe 2.
And they work great.
And I did not have a problem. I think I did almost an hour and a half video.
Okay. So even on a budget, man, this works.
Yeah, under $800.
Yeah.
How can you turn this down?
You can do a whole setup for this. This is great.
Exactly. Well, that's it, guys. That's pretty much everything you need to become a professional iPhonagrepher. But now it's time for you to upload your footage so you can start doing post work and editing and the whole 9 yards. That's even the funner part that we're not gonna get to. But for you to get there, I actually cheated the system. This little fella, White Disk. You download the application, jam it into your iPhone. It does give you the option of, I believe this is the Android, but since I'm not on the dark side, I'm on the Apple side. I know that iPhone, basically you plug it in, you can rip any files, photos, or videos. It takes seconds, because normally when I try to do videos that they're over 5 minutes, when you try to airdrop, it takes ages. And let me tell you, time is money. So I highly recommend you guys to buy this, because it will make everything be a lot faster.
To be honest with you, I don't have one of these, but looking at yours, I'm gonna want to invest, because if we're talking about convenience and efficiency, this is it. I'm always recording some footage on even my iPhone, because it has a very wide spectrum for a lot of shots, and I need to use it and download it to my editing software. So this is very useful. I
want to say even like almost a life hack. They're $16. Worst case scenario is 256 gigs of USB storage space. So if you ever need any type of USB, that's another thing you can use it for. So multitasker, I think we have a winner.
Killed it.
Woo! Well, guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to follow Carlos on your social media.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram as Carlos Ayala Films. So make sure you guys add me, check out my stuff.
But I actually want you guys to check out his YouTube channel, because his editing and footage is surreal.
Yeah, so you can find me as Carlos Ayala Films, or just put downtown Las Vegas, Carlos Ayala, you should be able to find me.
You're gonna find some really cool footage from downtown Las Vegas. This guy has so much creativity. I wanna say if you're up for hire, you can even get that as well, right?
Yeah, if you guys are looking to hire some creative content creator, here I am. Just hit me up on my Instagram.
So thank you so much once again, guys. I cannot thank you enough for sharing your valuable time to watch this YouTube video. Please, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It will help a ton. It will mean the world. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. If you want to see any type of videos being more thorough on some of these pieces of this equipment for becoming a YouTube, please mention and we can get a little more thorough. Yeah. So as that said, Carlos, it's time for me to go to post work.
Thanks for having me, man. Let's get to work.
Woo! Just so you know, this is how the behind the scene looks. We have the 2 tripods, the 2 iPhones, the lights to bring those nice brown eyes of Carlos. And thank you so much for allowing us to use your office.
No problem, man.